right, yo, clap, guys. We gotta clap at the same time, right?
At the same time.
3, 2, 1. Okay,
Bello.
that was fine enough.
I still don't understand this clap, but
That's to sync the audio at the same level.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't even understand.
That didn't help.
Whatever.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Serie A audio experience with IFTV. Everybody's been messaging us since Italy finally got their first win that we had to do a little podcast. But before we get into the podcast, we got Mayweather over here with a little eye problem. And before you tell everybody what happened to your eye, my first guess when you told me that something happened to your eye was that you talked something bad about Cassano and Antonio,
I punched him on his eye.
Antonio got mad. What happened?
So actually, I'm here even though I'm hurting and I didn't sleep all night. I'm here. No, what happened yesterday? We had a game and this is over 50 guys, and I went with the ball and it was between two defenders and I figured I'm going to get there before, and I did get there before, and it was right outside the area. I had a shot at goal, and all of a sudden I get to the ball and I hit a wall. Bam! My head. I thought I lost my head. I went back, and I'm on the floor, and I hear a lot of pain right all over here. So I put my hand there, and the first thing is, am I okay? What's going on there? So, I was bleeding and blood all over the place, and I found out later that I hit the defender's head. And this guy is like 6'5", 250 pounds.
Oh
so I hit his head, and I came back. Now, I really don't know the movement that he made, but when I went, I had two defenders like this, and I went in between them, and I kicked the ball. I remember everything, so I don't have a concussion. I'm okay. But how I hit his head, if it maybe went lower, if it maybe he tried to slide, it was late and he slided that, I don't know. But I'm okay. I went to the emergency room, and that's it.
You're still here, guys.
Antonio, you were there.
Yeah, I was there. So I was not into the field because I was pulled out because
you were on the bench.
Yeah, I was benched.
What the hell's going on?
I was benched because I was too nervous. I was just getting too much on the head of a couple offensive play.
I saw
couple of those.
You were there?
Yeah,
couple of those guys they got into my head, and I was a little.
You were
bit
mad?
There was a fight afterwards.
Yeah. So they pulled me out
already?
and
There was a fight.
Yeah, I left already. In the second half, this happened.
Anyway, so the game yesterday, it was an over 50. It was the Brooklyn Italian against the Croatian, and we won 2-1 just to make the record straight.
Did you win the ball?
I did win the ball.
But he lost his
like a true defender. At least he won the ball.
And we won the game.
What happened?
Wait, Conte would be really proud of you.
What happened with Antonio? Antonio saw your eye?
Yeah, Antonio saw it, and he said, you got nothing. You
wanted to come back in.
You got nothing.
Come back in and play.
I thought you would have got an infection.
So I said, should I go to the hospital or should I? You got nothing.
Antonio.
Listen.
So when I got to the emergency room and they cleaned it up, actually the cut was very deep, so they had to do stitches inside and outside, but.
No pain, no game, right?
Yeah. No big deal.
You won the ball, so we're proud of you.
No, the most important thing is we won the game. So.
That's it. You're right. You're right. Winning is number one. Then the highs, that's all right. We'll figure that out later on.
For anyone who's listening just the audio, go to YouTube and then you'll see what we're talking about. But anyway, it was also a good week. It started out a little bit bad with this international break. We don't really have friendlies anymore. We had our first friendly against Ukraine in Genoa against Shevchenko's Ukraine. And then we have our Nations League, which if we lost that match, we would have been relegated to to Serie B. To be honest, I know we should start with the Ukraine match. It's a little bit of a blur because it was so bad of how it was. Anybody remember the game that much?
Well, I remember a part of it. I remember that Bonucci and Chiellini, they were passing the ball to each other back and forth. There was nothing going on in the middle. There was nothing going on up front. I mean, I really was disappointed because I understand the game starts with the defenders, but you need to give the ball to the midfielders, and they need to create and give it to the wings, and they need to create. And there was no creativity. It was just a boring game. Very disappointed on the game.
I remember being super upset after watching the game. Our striker, I feel like, that striker problem. I know Mancini even said before, they asked him afterwards, and he said something like, why don't you put in a striker who could score? And he said, if I had a striker who could score, I would play him.
The thing is, I think the biggest problem with that, there wasn't, like Gaetano said, there wasn't a lot of chances, but the midfield was very empty. I felt like there was a big hole in that midfield, and there was only defense and
against
attack.
Ukraine? Yeah.
So I feel like that was the biggest problem, but the second game, we're not talking about it yet. It was a complete change, for sure.
I say, let's just go to the second game, because that was a beautiful match. Our backs were against the wall. We know Mancini definitely beat these guys up afterwards because he was so pissed from that first match. And we looked really, really good. That first half against Poland, and this is a Poland who, everybody, I know they failed at the World Cup, but it's a Poland that everybody talks about. They have Lewandowski. They got Milik, who was starting up top. And a lot of players who were high caliber.
The goalkeeper.
Szczesny stopped this game from going.
He saved like 2-3 good shots.
But anyway, the thing that I like the most, the midfield was so good. Yeah. Barella, Verratti, and Jorginho together. I was a little bit nervous because I thought, maybe they're all going to be too technical and there's not going to be a physical guy there. But they did not lose. I don't think they lost a single ball.
The thing is, it was the same midfield as the first one, so I didn't think it was going to work out. But they played completely two different It
was beautiful. Games, so. It was Jorginho and Verratti brought a calmness to the team that I feel like I haven't seen in a long time.
Barella stepped up.
We were getting frustrated because we saw the same problem where we can't score. We hit the post. How many times did we hit the post?
Two times?
Yeah. And it looked like he put Insigne as that false number 9, which I'm not a fan of because I don't know. I feel like there's not a target man in the box. Sometimes we're looking to cross it in. Biraghi was looking to cross it in. Who's on the right side that was looking to cross it in? And Florenzi. And there's no guy in the middle.
You do not want to cross when people are like Insigne, like it was 5'5", 5'6". So I think
he was dropping back all the time.
They must have heard Cassano criticizing them for the lack of talent that we have in Italy. So
they stepped up, right?
Something clicked into the head of some of
when
those
a legend
kids,
like that says something, you step it up.
Yeah, so it's true.
I think also it depends on the formation, right? We wanted to play like a 4-3-3. Yeah. And you don't want to take away Insigne's talent, especially having a great year. So you want to bring him as close to the goal. With Napoli, he plays that position. He's been playing that position. Even though I think, what we said, it would be great to have a target man and maybe him behind them as a center forward.
Bernardeschi,
Chiesa. Like that. Yeah. But then, he's trying something different. He doesn't feel comfortable with his strikers. Look, he put Lasagna in instead of Immobile.
And it paid off.
It says a lot, though.
He got the assist.
Yeah, but the thing is, usually, Immobile with Lazio, he scores. He's the starter, and has experience. And he went with Lasagna in a game where we desperately needed to win.
Says a lot.
Could we just say something? I just want to squeeze something in. Kevin Lasagna, he's kind of new. He got that was his first appearance for that Azzurri. Let me just tell you his little career that he had. In 2012, he was playing in Serie D with Cerea. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah.
But 2014, he signed with Carpi in Serie B. 2015, they got promoted to the Serie A. Then they were going down, so he signed in 2017 with Udinese. Then 2018, he got called up to the Azzurri, and he got the assist for the winning goal on his debut.
That was nice.
So it was incredible.
When I saw Lasagna go in, I said, Jesus
I actually
Christ.
was happy because I was like, this guy's going to give 110%. This guy's passionate right here. No one expected him to get called up.
At the end of the day, you didn't expect Biraghi to score the goal either.
And Marco, he got called up only because there was an injury. He was never in the first time, so that gave him, extra hype on that one. So
sure.
Yeah, but like Peter said, it's a little bit. It was concerning that I saw Lasagna come in, who was not even called up to the beginning squad.
Exactly.
He was brought in just because of an injury, and then you think that he was there 2 days before the game started, and he was so much better than Immobile, or maybe the dynamics of the game played out that he thought that Lasagna was needed. But
I'll tell you what happened. What's going on over there? I think that a lot of people a lot of those players, they think that they are for the accomplishment they already had on their back. They feel like they belong into the team and like they have their place already carved into the field. And Mancini, I guess, wants to see that you actually deserve to play because of what you do or what you leave on the field for the Italian national team. You're wearing one of the most important jerseys of the world.
Historical.
Okay, now forget about the history. It's the the charisma that we have and how much all Italians they're putting into the game. We live for soccer. So for somebody to be wearing the Italian national jersey and not to live 1,000% into the field, it's a disgrace.
Disrespectful.
So if Mancini has seen lack of passion to the game, even during the training, I'm sure he's recording all of these things in his head, and he's probably benching a bunch of players that they think that they have their place already carved.
Now, could you imagine how hard Lasagna was going in training? He probably spit out blood and going 100% more than anyone else. To call him up, when you have people like Immobile, when you have players like Zaza on the bench, he could have bring in even Jovinko.
Absolutely, I applaud bringing Jovinko. How many times we discussed this thing? I know, but we
calling him up.
He called him in.
He called him up.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I think Mancini even said you use the.
Oops. Sorry, you can talk.
Is that Cassano calling, telling you he wants to quit again? Anyway.
No, I was saying, just having Jovinko there is able to see him up and close and see how he's practicing with the team. And you could see how if he actually lost a bit. But I don't think so. He's still a top talent.
It's actually great that they called him up too, because it shows to everyone. It's like, well, I can get called up if I give 100%. But I was a little disappointed he didn't play. Maybe that's part of it. Goes to show maybe he really wasn't at that level he was expecting.
What were you gonna say?
I'm still not happy about the national team. I think there's a lot of work to be done. I see all this I think we are lightweight. I see all these young players that are coming up. I don't see any talent whatsoever. I would like to see somebody that has got talent. The only young people that I really like and I think they can grow is Barella. I like Barella. I think Chiesa has got potential to be there. Bernardeschi, I don't know. He's still missing the last pass. I don't understand.
It's all over the place.
They spoke to him. You need to have that last pass, better, because he's coming in the last part. The national team, to me, the way it is right now, it's lightweight.
But you
and
weren't
I don't
satisfied?
no.
With that win?
I am happy that it was a great win.
Yeah.
And that will lead us, I believe, to be head of group for the qualification of the
it will help us.
the European Cup, right?
Yeah.
So that will help us in that part. But there's a lot of work to be done in this team.
Big
You know what?
improvements.
Listen, you're talking about
I
young
have a great one.
talent.
Excuse me, Marco, and I want to ask Peter this thing here. Then you pick up from this. Peter, is the fact that we had Pirlo before, that we had Maldini before, that we had Totti before, that we had Del Piero before, that we had all of those
Spoiled
champions,
everyone, right?
That we had all of those champions, that now we have Gaetano talking about lack of talent. And even Cassano said the same thing. But Cassano said there is no talent of
That's
all.
some reassurance.
Don't associate.
He's just now worth to even get to watch the game because it's boring garbage.
That game was
I
good.
don't
That game was good,
I
though.
don't agree.
Tell me, what
I
do
don't
you
agree.
think?
No. You know what? Italy is one of those teams like Brazil, like Argentina, that we don't really have generational teams. You look at Croatia, you look at Greece, they have these, or Portugal even, they have these generational teams, right? Instead, Italy, even going beyond the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, we had that little drought in the 60s and 70s,
It was
but
always
not because we were
consistent.
lack of players. In the 60s, Italy was on top of Champions League. You had Milan,
Right.
you had Inter, Facchetti, Mazzola, Gianni Rivera. So you had always talented, but I'm talking top players from Italy that would dominate in any league. Now, I don't know what it is, but the Italian players don't make a mark on any other league the way that we used to. You used to have a bunch of really good players, and I mean world-class players. Now you have a handful, and they're not able to bring Italy to where they should be.
I agree with you, but at the same time, there are plenty of teams that we've seen that with less talent than we have right now have won and have been able to beat other teams. So my point is, we're dealt with the cards that we have right now, right? We want to get into a conversation about building the youth. That's a separate conversation. But right now, this is what we have at our disposal. The food is on the plate. 1 second. The food is on the plate right here. Now, how do you make the most out of the food that you have right there? And to me, I liked that I saw from Mancini that the team had a lot more energy and there was a lot more excitement. One thing that I criticized is the striker. And the guy that I was hoping to see, and I kept thinking in the back of my mind, I wish this guy was the number 9 right there, was CUTRONE. Because CUTRONE is a guy that's very hungry, and he's got a fire in his eyes that he wants to score. And I felt like we didn't have a number 9 who was really there to pick up those passes. You know, like there was a few times we had a few rebounds, we had a few this and that, just to be in the box and be a nuisance. And Cutrone has shown for Milan that he's able to have a good idea of where to be at the right time.
Killer instinct.
And I thought that our midfield was fantastic. I know people are going to downplay that we're playing Poland. Everybody hypes up Poland. Our defense was not the best, but it's good.
Overall,
it's good enough,
good.
right? But our attack is where it's lacking. And I think that a number 9 like Cutrone could really help out this team. Now, we saw this team play, and it's what can this team do? When Conte had a team, he had Giaccherini, Pelé, Eder. And we were able to beat Spain. We were able to go to Germany. Belgium. We were able to go against Germany into penalty kicks where we nearly won. Yeah. And it was just, there was a team that sacrificed everything for the other. And I think that, and there was a hunger. And even Verratti, after the game, he said that our style of play is different now. He said the intention is to actually try and play. Just give us some time. So, I mean, I know that the players are to blame. But like he's saying, our intention is now to try and play. What does that say about the previous people that were in charge where you didn't want to play? It seemed like this time we had some idea of how to go about playing.
I mean, a lot of people might not like Mancini, but his experience stands for itself. You know, was a great player. He coached winning teams in Italy and England. He was in Russia also. Yeah. So he has the experience and knows how to manage. Because especially, it's more about that on the national team level, is how much you get from each player and how you can manage the players. Because you don't see them a lot. You know, so
he was always a solid coach. Yeah, exactly.
Conte was able to work miracles with that team that he had. But then Ventura, for example, his best finish was what? 10th place with Torino. That's not a national team coach.
That's why maybe are we a little bit too critical on the quality of players when you could be getting results? I mean, this is our first win in a real match, not a friendly match, in over a year.
Don't get too happy about it.
In over a year.
Father, listen to me. Your father was right.
It doesn't matter, though.
Listen to me. Your father is right. There is no talent right now. So what we have here, we have
I don't necessarily agree.
4 or 5 decent players.
But even with decent players, you should be able to win.
That's not an excuse,
by building a core and building a team, even without talent. There are many teams who won without talent. Iceland. What Iceland players are there that play in Europe? But as a unit, they did well.
Marco, the players that we have right now do not consistently put on the field what's required from them. They have some talent. There is some talent over there. But, they're very, one day, yes. Another day they fall asleep. Another day maybe they play half game. Okay,
but it's not an excuse to not win.
People that they consistently go to the field.
We say we don't have
showcase. We don't.
Okay, exactly. No, so now, look, we say, listen, we don't.
This insinuate, this big player,
I'm not talking about
this big player. They're not big players.
Listen.
They're okay.
But these are two separate conversations. We're talking about what we have right now, and what we have right now, we should be doing better. We should be doing like what we saw against Poland. That's my point, that we could be playing better. We're averaging 0.7 goals a game, 0.7 goals a game.
Less than a goal a game.
In 15 games, we scored 11 goals. Listen, that is a problem.
That's terrible.
That is, I don't care who you have as your strikers. You should be doing better than that.
Now, we're talking about two different things, okay? We're talking about building a team, starting from scratch and going up. What I'm saying is that we used to Baggio, we used to Totti, we used to Del Piero, we used to Maldini, we used to Pirlo, and I don't see that on this team. I don't see the future, except I'm hoping Barella, Chiesa and Bernardeschi. I'm hoping that they can make it there. Now, with what you have to do the best of what you have, and probably Mancini is going to do the best with what he has. I don't like to play without a center forward. The only team that can play without a center forward is Barcelona, and they're the only ones who should play without a center forward because they have Messi. Okay, the other ones you need. We're not that kind of team. You need a center forward.
I agree.
Okay, you need to put somebody there, but somebody that is strong and somebody that is going to give you that weight inside the area. So that's what Mancini. He might be doing a good job. I know it's very hard because he doesn't have the time and he only sees these players for a short amount of time. But as far as the tactic is concerned of the team, I like to see a center forward. You don't have one, go and look around. I know that
We have enough.
I know that Conte did not have one, but he always was looking for something. I know that he tried Pelé, he tried Zaza, he tried Eder. He tried something because that's what he wanted. So I'm hoping that the Mancini going forward will look into getting a good center forward. I would have liked to see Giovinco a little bit more. The guy is one that always dribbles his man. He has creativity, so I would have liked to see him there. And maybe I don't mind the two in front of the defense, with Verratti or Jorginho, but he could also try with one in front of the defense, like Pirlo, just get one in front of the defense, and so that the other midfielder,
more an offensive position.
It could be
They can run
more
around
creative and one more defensive. So you have three. You have the Pirlo, you have an offensive one, you have a defensive one.
That's
But
how we've always tried.
yeah,
to,
that's
tried
what
to
the,
play.
right.
Hey, I was just caught up by this thing that you have on the computer over here, and
Our Instagram
there is a
page.
little quote of Cassano. Says, "Football, Cassano, my best friend. He says, football was better before. Period. All the players suck nowadays. Period. They are all a bunch of nobodies. Period.
No exclamation points?
Okay, no, that's what I was trying to tell.
We posted this, Anto.
You posted it?
We
Okay.
posted this,
What
and
I'm-
everybody thought it was you and not Cassano.
Okay, so we have
If
the
he said
same
losers
mentality.
instead of nobody, it would have been you.
The same winning mentality, right?
What have we been saying the same thing? Gaetano's been saying the same thing. I've been saying the same thing. Peter has been saying the same thing.
But you haven't brought any
We
solution,
all
though.
agree. We all agree that there is.
but we
I
can
think-
agree.
I think Marco is on the right point. Like we
Accept
agree
that.
we
Accept
don't have
that.
the players.
Now, what are we
that
gonna
want
do
have.
to make up
You
for
can't
it?
stay
We
on
still
that
have
point.
good enough players
Yes.
to make the World Cup.
Ciro
to play in the
Immobile
World
was a
Cup or to play-
capocannoniere with Icardi.
To score a
You're
goal
gonna
against
tell me-
Sweden. We have enough quality that we could have been able to score a
Guys.
goal against Sweden. That's the point. One second before
Go,
you
yeah.
go. The last thing about that, when he says, Conte was creative with what he did. He didn't have, he didn't call up Balotelli, which people were upset about. He said, listen, I want the unit of the team to be good. And Pelé, if you look at what Pelé and Eder did really in the Euros, they were soldiers. These guys, they stood there. He made them stay precisely how far away they had to be with each other. It was Pirlo at the time. Was Pirlo still there? He would send the ball to Pelé, whatever. Pelé would give it back to Eder, and then he would run. It was always the same exact movement. And then Pelé would check in. Eder would run. Giaccherini would try to follow behind them. So it was a very tactical way to get around not having talented players.
But those two players complement each other.
Exactly.
Because Pelé is the
Was
one that
big.
can hold up
They're
the ball.
opposites.
and-
But he
Exactly.
called
and
up players
the
to
air.
make sure that we played that.
And there is a hard worker. Every team that he's always played, he's running nonstop. So that fits Conte's style, and it ended up being a perfect marriage for the two. But that's something that we're missing. We don't have the center forward or the stable center forward, because every time Belotti would play, Immobile would play, Balotelli would play, no one took the position, because you cannot be changing the guy 3 or 4 times. You're
You
never
need someone
gonna
to stay there.
Yeah, you need your starter.
You need chemistry with the team.
So I have a question for Gaetano, also Antonio. I know you like the midfielder to be a little bit lower, but
Go ahead. Our friend Joe Golino. I'm gonna call him later.
Just put it on
we're
side.
on silent.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm silent. Oops.
Keep
Sorry,
going,
guys.
Keep going.
Do you like the 4-3-3, or do you like maybe a 4-3-1-2, or what do you think is?
I think right now the best, if I would do the 4-2-3-1. That's what I would play with a center forward, somebody up there, and then the 3 people behind them. Get very 3 creative players behind them. One of them I would have liked to have seen Giovinco, behind them, and with Bernardeschi and Insigne maybe.
Okay.
Those 3, and the 2 in front of the defense. That could be Verratti and Jorginho. The other thing that I would have liked to see is maybe try one of them, like a Pirlo type of thing, in front of the defense. And so play a 4-3-2-1, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You agree?
I agree with the second one, 4-3-2-1. The reasons why we just been saying all the time, we do not have somebody in the middle of the box like it's a target for us. So if Cutrone steps up to the plate and and becomes the man, so that will be perfect. You put a Giovinco and a Verratti behind Cutrone. Those people that can feed the ball very nicely, or even let's say I don't know. Chiesa, Bernardeschi, but Bernardeschi, I don't think is somebody un regista. Doesn't have cold feet. Just he's still very
he's very raw
streaky,
still.
very streaky. You know, he'll play a nice game one day, then three more. He's gonna screw up 3 more times, 3 more games. I don't see him like this very good quality player. He's got speed. He's got some decent touches, but not there is no quality for me for Bernardeschi.
But before we move on completely from the Italian national team, the U21s played today. They played against Tunisia. They won, and Moise Kean scored too. He scored from the spot. He's actually been doing really well. He's the first player born in the 2000s to now score in Serie A, play in the Champions League, and now score for Italy's under 21s. He's 17? No, he's 18.
No, I think
he's 18, and he's playing with the U21s. And he's playing well. We're watching the game. I mean, this guy's got a hunger to attack. And I've been watching our last game.
Presence on the field, though.
I love the
he's on a
aggressiveness.
level above everyone else. You could tell. It's incredible.
I wouldn't say above everyone else.
No, I really would.
Italy's
He makes it
U21
count,
team
though,
is
when he was
good.
there.
I think that we have some good talent in that squad, and I'd like to maybe see some of them go into the first team a little bit, because Keane, I mean, his agent said that the reason he stayed at Juventus this year is to learn from Ronaldo. He said, I want to learn from there and be in that environment. So also, I know he's already taking a step up because he could be playing with the 18s, 19s, 20s. So he's playing at the 21. So maybe it's a little bit ahead of myself. But anyway, last thing we got to say too, Piontek, he scored again. This guy scored, not against us because he didn't play. He didn't play against us. But the guy's ridiculous. He scored against it was Portugal, right?
Portugal, yeah. They lost, though, but he scored the first goal.
It was
from a set piece.
Yeah, Piontek is going to be, I don't know, which team is...
De Laurenti said today that he already started contacting.
I don't know. I would say that Juventus is going to take him. Anything is over there to be scooped up is Juventus just takes it.
Guys, the price
without even asking.
Guys, a few days ago before the Portugal game, before he scored against Portugal, they were saying 40 million, and now after, they're saying 60.
Yeah, they're saying 60.
Guys, that's incredible.
It's too much.
He was sold for 4 million.
Nah, I say
too much.
If he does this the rest of the season,
I mean,
it's the market.
You cannot do it for because
is it a fluke though, or it's not? You think
you have to wait?
You gotta wait till 10 games.
I mean, you play 2 months and already. You have to wait.
Let's see if he stops scoring first.
Oh, the fact that he's a goal scorer is
But the guy, like I said, he moves very well inside the area.
He has a natural instinct.
And he's aggressive too. He's also got that. He knows where to be. What are you gonna say?
I'm surprised Spalletti didn't put his eyes on this kid here and starting to tell the what do you call it, the Chinese ownership. I said I want him.
Maybe he did.
They did.
Maybe.
Right now, I know Barella's on Inter's radar because he's very similar to Nainggolan. And Spalletti.
So when is it going to be a double of Nainggolan? This guy here?
No, they're different. They're different though. Nainggolan's more physical.
I don't think he's not going to leave easy. He's the captain.
That's actually one question that we had was where do you see Barella playing next season?
40 to 50 million.
In Cagliari. Guys, he's not going anywhere.
That's the president of Cagliari. He wants 40 to 50 million for Barella right now, and Barella is also an Inter fan. Just to let you know.
Wait,
you think he's leaving, guys? Wait for a quick second.
I don't care. No,
I think he's staying.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Before he goes to Inter, he's going to go to Juventus. This guy.
Barella staying one more season at Cagliari.
I mean, those teams, if you offer them $50 million, they can.
Those teams, wow, the disrespect.
It's an offer they can refuse.
It's true.
You make them an offer they can refuse.
The mid-table.
From the mid-table down, you offer 50 million, you know, they
retire.
Or they can rebuild.
Wait. Speaking about retiring.
Dun, 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 dun.
What
happened?
Speaking about retiring.
Oh, Cassano.
What happened with your boy? Let me set the foreground. Guys, for those who don't know, Cassano started training on Monday with Virtus Entella. On Tuesday, he did his first training session, and then by Saturday, he retired.
And he said, I'm retiring for good this time. Because he keeps going back and forth.
Listen, according to Cassano, and I agree with him 1,000%.
Surprise.
After he played on AC Milan, Inter Milan, Real Madrid, Roma, Sampdoria, there is nothing. You know the concept of nothingness? When all of us, we're going to be dying, we don't know where we're going to be going. Hopefully, we're going to go in a different environment where we can still play soccer or there in the heaven or whatever. But according to Cassano, right now, into the Serie A, there is nothing. Nothingness is the concept of...
He wasn't even in Serie A. He was in Serie C.
No way. That was not in Serie C.
Virtus Entella is in Serie C.
I didn't play one game with them.
I know, but he was going to train with them.
He didn't do anything.
He scored. He scored a goal for
He
that.
didn't
He played
do
with that.
anything. Okay, he didn't do anything. So you can make as much fun as you want. You wish you were Cassano, even playing on Serie C, because it will entertain the people. It will teach a little bit somebody to
Sell
play
out the
soccer.
stadium for once in a
You
while,
know?
right?
Huh?
Sell out the stadiums too once in a while.
It's true, but how many times is this guy gonna retire?
You know-
He's got more retirements than trophies.
I have to be honest with all of you. I have seen Cassano recently in an interview where Totti was promoting his new book about his history,
autobiography,
his life,
yeah.
and all the stuff. And Cassano command of the Italian language and I'm serious.
He's Italian.
It was like
Yeah.
he was better than a journalist. This guy here, so he
has
was
a lot of free time. That's why.
free time. No, the guy is got talent at every single level. He's got talent on his feet. He's got talent on his head. He's got talent as a speaker. He's a talent. Okay.
Well,
End of
but-
the story.
You don't want your other eye black, so be careful what you say.
Be careful, okay?
What were you gonna say?
No.
He agrees. He
wants to keep it
agrees.
to himself.
No
He
comment.
agrees.
Smart. Peter, anything?
I like to see Cassano coaching. To be honest with you, I like to see Cassano coaching.
And then he's gonna retire after 2 days.
Doesn't matter.
You know what? That would be fun to watch. But
Oh, yeah.
I gotta say, Cassano coaching will be very interesting.
He will just pulling somebody that is a loser and say, get out of the field, just like that.
Listen, if Ventura can get a job again, then Cassano could definitely get a job as a coach.
Don't compare Cassano with Ventura. Don't do that. That's a disgrace.
Guys,
trying
he
to-
signed, by the way, to
Mike.
Chievo Verona officially.
Yeah, who cares?
Ventura.
Mike, if Greece, you guys are not doing good right now, you need a new coach. If you had to choose between Ventura or Cassano,
Thing is,
who
I
would
don't
you
know, I
choose?
never seen Cassano like
I know,
coach
but just-
before.
come on.
Because you see greats and stuff that like Maradona, one of the best players in the world, and look, he's not a very
Well,
good
who would
coach.
you just go with?
I will go with Cassano.
I might take the chance with Cassano. 'Cause
Yeah,
you never know.
thank
Our
you,
coach
Mike.
right now
Thank
isn't
you.
good.
Thank you.
We're supposed
Thank
to have
you.
an agreement that we get him mad.
If I were to choose, I would choose Mike Cantares
Yes.
Please.
Over both of them.
over both of them.
That's good. I like
Listen,
that guy, Tano.
you are in a striking distance to get your other right or not.
Let's go on to the derby. We got
Oh,
we'll conclude with the derby.
they're gonna win. Inter is winning this time.
We got Inter from Peter. Milano siamo noi. That means
right.
we are Milano. If you guys don't
They're
understand.
winning. They're gonna win. They're gonna win.
And Antonio, if you can't tell, is a Milan fan, and he likes to put these what is it? What's it called?
The Mourinho mind games.
Jinx.
Jinx. Look, you know.
No, they're
He
gonna
likes to
win.
jinx.
They have a talent. Hey, they got Vandanara taking care of of what's his name, of Icardi. They have Spalletti just like an hyena in front of the camera.
Oh, you gotta take that.
Hey, that is crazy. This guy's insane.
He celebrates when they win, and it's crazy.
It's unbelievable.
Crazy.
The
They should
guy
ban
is
him.
insane. He should know better because there are people watching him. I understand we're doing podcasts. By the way, our podcast is much better than Spalletti interview. We are worldwide recognized. Forget about Spalletti. We are the voices of all the world.
Let's talk about the football.
We are the world because
We are the world. We are the
Okay?
world.
Michael Jackson.
Okay. So anyway, talking about the
Talk
game.
about the football,
Talking about
yeah.
the game. Inter's got the happening because of all their high talented defense that they have. They have spectacular midfield, and they have the forwards that those are all international recognized players. But we're gonna take our chance. We're gonna wait and see what's going on over there, and maybe Cutrone is gonna be the wild card for us that is gonna do some damage. Hopefully.
Peter, what do you think?
And Higuain, we'll see.
It's gonna be a very good game, as we always do. San Siro is gonna be up to I don't know how many thousand, but it's supposed to be really.
No,
gonna be sold out, probably.
It's gonna be
Yeah, no, probably
exactly.
sold
And then
out.
70K.
Barcelona's coming also next week, so it's gonna be a real
Yeah.
nice week in Milan. But I think right now Inter and Milan both are gonna be in the position where they're not gonna try to strike first. They're gonna play it out a little bit, and then whoever makes the first mistake is the one that's gonna lose. Coming off of national break, it's hard. Milan's been playing well, but then coming back, it might be a little difficult for them to get it all together. Inter's been winning, which is important, but they still haven't started turning the mechanics of everything. It's very lethargic. It's not smooth. Milan instead, I think, has been playing a lot better within the last couple of weeks, and they're winning. So, I think it's gonna be a very good game, like it always is. But I hope that Inter's going to be able to prove.
You guys gonna win. I'm telling you, Pete. You guys gonna win. You're gonna win.
All I know is Icardi.
You're gonna win.
One of his teams that he likes to score against is Milan.
Yeah.
So
Man,
And
remember
he
last year he put the shirt.
Yeah,
that was epic.
And he promised something that if he scores against AC Milan, Juan Danara is gonna get a big diamond ring
There you
again.
go.
So
The thing that I'm excited about is that both the teams are pretty on form. They're both playing very
And
good.
they both got
at
good
the most
strikers
form,
this year.
And they both have great
Oh, yeah.
strikers. So
Higuain
it's gonna
is-
be.
That
I think
here's
it's a
the
bit-
difference. I'm telling you,
our weakness, though,
Higuain-
Marco, our weakness is defense. I mean, Inter,
Well,
they balance on every level, right or wrong?
Yeah, that's true.
AC Milan
He's
defense is
complimenting
like,
it on every level over
no,
here.
I'm serious. AC Milan defense is still questionable. I'm not 100%, sold out.
I think they're meeting at the right time where both teams are stepping up and they've won a couple of games, and I think the timing is perfect. I saw and I read a little bit of the interview with Maldini, who was at the Festival of the Sport that Gazzetta organized in Trento this past weekend, and Paolo Maldini is a gentleman, and my highest compliment to him, because he's always been a gentleman and a great player. And he was saying that Higuain could be the leader of AC Milan, and I think that if you have in a team Higuain, you're always in the game.
I agree.
So I don't know about you, that the Inter, I think that it's pretty balanced game. I think it's going to be. So I'm looking for a great game.
Let's conclude this with some predictions. You started off. What are you gonna say?
Is it Inter Milan or Milan Inter?
Milan.
It's Inter Milan. Oh, by the way, I forgot to ask you. I saw Martinez play with the Argentina national team.
He scored,
and
right?
He's got a nice goal. So that's also somebody that you have on the side that maybe it's going to come
Amen.
through.
What's your prediction?
Inter Milan. You know, my gut feeling says Milan. You know that this is the turning point for them. I'll go for a tie.
My gut tells me it's going to be a tie, because I feel like these games always end up in a tie for some reason. The past few years, I feel like it's been very even. But I'm sorry, I got to give the edge to Inter. I think that
So you're changing it?
No, my gut tells me, like he said, my gut tells me a tie, but I'm going to go for Inter, and I think that Higuain's going to be on the score sheet too. Mike, what's your? We'll leave them to last.
Inter's gonna win 2-0, I think.
Ooh.
Before you guys give your prediction,
Be enough.
we already have this bet that we've had it for the beginning of the season.
Oh boy, I forgot about that. Good call, Marco.
If Inter win, the next podcast you will be coming on with an Inter jersey, vice versa.
I did.
Vice versa. And if it's a tie, what are they both gonna come in another jersey or what?
Well, if I tie, I can still wear Cassano.
You guys both wear a Juventus jersey if it's a
No
tie.
way. I can still wear Cassano jersey if it's a tie.
Antonio, I'm gonna give you a Wanda Nara.
No, Wanda.
Peter, your prediction. We'll save Antonio for last.
Listen, I think it's going to be a close game. I say 2-1 Inter.
I think safe score.
Scores?
I agree with him. They're gonna win. Okay, Inter's gonna win. Not because they're gonna be playing better, because it is what it is.
It is what it
You know,
is.
even when they play the worst against AC Milan, they win.
They're favorites for the tripleta too, so you never know.
They're gonna win the triplete at the beginning of the year. So they're
They're gonna win the 4. They're gonna win all 4.
Yeah.
Not even 4 trophies, but they're gonna win all 4.
So then Cassano jersey, I don't got to clean it. It's right here.
Yeah.
Next week.
Yeah. Make sure you try your watch.
You
every
seem
night.
too happy to. You're supposed to be upset.
No, I'm not
We need to
upset.
build the
He's
anticipation.
No, I'm not
lying
upset.
against Marco. Don't fall
Guys,
for
not
let me
it.
just
upset.
say, Antonio plays it cool in the podcast. He likes the jigs, but when he's watching the game over here, he's going crazy and screaming how Milan are not winning. But anyway, guys, you got to give us your predictions down below in the comments. Let us know. You think Inter's going to win? Do you think Milan's going to win? What were your thoughts on the Italian national team? Are some of us being too critical, or are some of us being too happy with the situation? Let us know down below. As always, rate the podcast, right?
Yes. Make sure with only 5 stars, right?
5 stars. Somebody last time, we have 84 reviews right now. Somebody gave 5 stars and they wrote, I would give this 10 if I could. So I think that's thanks to you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. So you make sure, okay?
As always, guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you're new, and
And don't forget that this is about you, not about us.
We are the
okay?
world, right?
We are the world, okay?
We are the world.
world platform for soccer where everybody's opinion counts. And your opinion is the number one opinion, okay? Forget
Beautiful.
about the rest of the network, ESPN or Bein, That doesn't mean anything for us. This is what counts, okay? We have nothing but experts over here, all right?
The top experts.
Maybe you, we're not
The top
experts.
The top X.
I'm not an expert.
Okay?
Thank you guys for watching. We'll talk to you soon.
Ciao,
Ciao,
guys.
ragazzi.
Out.